Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Fuse Rights Union. You guys are meeting with Lissa, who is the leader of the Crows. You have been in contact with her before. Base of the Crows is heavily guarded. It's an old abandoned Bluecoat watchtower. The Bluecoats have, for the most part, completely pulled back from that area. It is just the gangs rule that district. Enormous towering area. There are like spotlights that are currently turned off, but can be activated. Multiple snipers. But you are invited. The first scene that we see is you sitting in Lissa's office. It's the four of you. There are two guards just like next to her. They don't look especially threatening to you. Her second in command is just outside. You passed him. You've been talking for some time already. If someone would be able to deal with Adelson, they might be out of my hair, so to speak. The contract would be void. Because you're the oldest Grind, she would look at you by default.
And what sort of hornet's nest are we getting into if we cross swords with your current supplier?
Adelson just runs a brewery, and the weapons that he builds are underground, I assume.
So he is no one's brother or important to anyone that would seek recompense?
Not in that way. He has been talking with the Lampblacks and the Red Sashes. I think selling to them as well. Both of them. And they're both quite unhappy with his double dealing. You might not be the only ones who want him dead.
Do we know what side of that thing she's on?
Oh, neither.
Neutral. Yeah,
she is on her
neutral.
own side. Lissa recently killed the old leader of the Crows and took over. She is trying to maintain power within the organization and make the Crows dominant over the district again.
Does he hire any mercenaries?
That's a...
Is that what we're going for here? Some Batman?
I don't know what you're talking about. This is my voice.
This is great.
Son of a bitch. I fucking quit. This is not good. I would rather, no.
Right, you know I gotta...
Sounds like you gotta take a shit is what you gotta do.
You know I gotta mask my voice. No one can know who the Phoenix is.
Well,
That's the power of the Phoenix. It could be any one of us.
Are you
We're just
dressed
talking
up as
about
the
the
Phoenix
superhero.
right now?
Yeah.
Are you dressed up like a superhero at the meeting?
See, you're in your like red getup with red bandana and red crow.
Red get up, red. Yeah.
What's
I
in
mean-
this contract that it's not to your liking?
I'm offering you an opportunity. Take it or leave it.
When he sells you the guns, is it him directly, or does he go through a third party?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's him directly.
Is there one or the other red sashes or lampblacks that we favor?
I think we're on Team Lamplighter Union. It's obvious what side
Yeah.
we have to take.
Another
The Sword
way to
School's
engage
doing
with the cool
fine.
people.
They don't need assistance, but the Lamplighter Union has had all of their contracts taken. We obviously
Yeah.
need to support them.
They could
And-
light lamps again, but they're fuses instead. Fuses for the bombs of revolution. When Duskfall lies in ashes, then we can die.
Rhetoric, thy name is Phoenix. Flashback to where we went
Yep.
to the Lampblacks before this meeting. and
absolutely
said,
can.
We see you have a problem.
So yeah, so it would be me and Grim that would have gone to meet the Lampbacks.
Mm.
And we're probably sitting in their office talking, and that Hicks will say something and have like it slowly, like step by step saying, like walking him through when his current supplier is eliminated, he will purchase from us. Like I'm just talking him slowly through it.
Yeah, Bajo, he is someone who he is built like a brick house, but in his eyes there's this gleam of like shrewdness to him. Like he's definitely much smarter than the stereotypical like brute. But he is still able to fight very well.
First
I
roll of the
have-
campaign, don't fuck it up.
One bonus die.
Why did you have to jinx it?
I got a 5.
Adelson, sells me whiskey as well. You get me that whiskey, he owes me a shipment still. Then I'm in.
So
yeah,
we
you're-
can't blow up the bar.
I
Right.
say our plan is to abduct this person and make him make bootleg hooch in our basement.
No, I don't like that plan. That's a bad plan.
Yep.
No, we don't need an old basement, man.
All right. So we cut back to you're back with Lissa. Is there anything you want to ask her about or do with her, or are you just agreement, shaking of hands? You guys head out. If
I
you
think
want to.
the scene is us going back to our covered boat that we have parked nearby because we don't live in
It has all of our stuff in it.
in Crowsfoot, yeah. So that we have the locker room scene, but like in some dirty canal where we get ready.
Yeah, okay. You're gearing up.
It's the locker room scene is like where we get all of our stuff out, but it's in a dirty canal and not at our base next to our boat.
All right.
We have like our logo painted on the side of or whatever.
Okay. You want to go check things out in advance then? That would be like
Yeah,
we can
let's
gather
case the
information
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
the
can
place.
taste
Yeah.
the place before we do the engagement roll.
They are near the canals. They're not right on the edge of the canal. They're 1 block away, and there's a convenient little alley actually through 2 other buildings
up
that basically leads to
Buildings,
the
like
yeah. They're 1 block away. You can already see that the plan could be like get off the boat, go through this short alley. You're at their cellar door, which is hidden. But when you were casing the joint, you saw that the cellar door is just like covered in boxes. Basically, they hide it by like piling debris and stuff.
So
plan. We go in through the stellar. We quickly like bucket brigade out the supplies we want from their cellar.
leave behind some bombs.
Yeah, leave behind some bombs on some port beams. We leave.
Okay.
We probably from the goodness of our hearts throw in like a flashbang through the front door or through the front window as we leave.
To scare out people from.
Yeah.
I think there's
yeah.
one thing while you're serving the area, Zaid or the Phoenix, your Varys is like starts acting just briefly, acting a bit like fidgety. They're getting a bit nervous. They can the stench that is all over Crowsfoot, like it reeks of haunted ghosts.
I want to attune to the ghost field to see if they're gonna be a problem with this job, right? It's probably from an outside perspective, it like what happens is he like closes his eyes and he opens them and they look like fire. But to him, he's just sort of like, I guess, sort of the same way he reaches out to talk to Varys, is he sort of tries to do that same thing, just to nothing in particular.
Okay.
Kind of like meditation a little bit.
So while everyone's like serving the place,
So you
go
do your
right up to
Witcher
their back
vision
door.
walk around.
You're like
Yeah.
in their side alley, walking around. All right.
In the side alley, he switches back to Zaid, like reverses the coat, takes
Okay.
off the bandana, like ties it to the top of his head.
Mhm. So I think you overhear a conversation. I think that while you're attuning, there's like a muffled conversation through like one of the basement windows. It's closed and it looks like it's boarded up. You can hear muffled conversation from someone, and then your attunement makes the other side of the conversation louder than normal. You can almost like hear it in your own mind. This is a ghost speaking with someone down there. You hear half of the conversation. The conversation.
You're just the ghost half?
Just the ghost half of the conversation. Exactly.
Oh, that's weird.
Yep.
The crow hearing it, I'm guessing.
They would never like call themselves by name, so you don't know their name. But this person was recently killed and seems to be interested in finding out who killed them from that person they're talking to, and wants revenge. And is like, okay, who killed me? And basically the conversation is this person's like, no, I'll find out for you. I'm like this close. Like that's what you can infer that they're saying.
Yeah, like
and
they're saying they're close to finding the killer.
Yeah, and this ghost is getting increasingly frustrated. This ghost hasn't been dead for that long. Like they don't feel like insane.
Yeah, they go insane the longer they're dead.
And they're getting frustrated, and they're like getting there, but they're not off the deep end. But they're eager still for revenge, and they don't know who killed them. And this person in the cellar who was talking to them is who they're depending on to tell them, like, to point them in the right direction. And they're talking like old friends. Also, like they're talking like they aren't strangers. They know each other. You are right, all of you, at the cellar entrance. Moved the boxes to the side. You've entered the cellar. You can hear movement outside. You can hear, like, just upstairs. It's like a small bar, like a brewery sample bar, where most of their business is not actually from the bar itself. It's from selling beer and whiskey and things in bulk. So it's more of a, like, tasting that's upstairs. But there's people there. There is still movement downstairs. When you enter into the basement, it's I think it's lit by a torch. I don't think down here there's electroplasmic lighting. There's just a torch on a wall. One wide open room, dimly lit, but big, and there's like boxes everywhere, and many of them are in corners, labeled differently. Two pillars, sort of both centered, both like kind of this way in the center of the room. You hear snoring. There's one person who does look like they're guarding someone on the far end of the room. They're in like a room. There's like barrels on the sides of the wall. There's some tables on the far end, dimly lit. They almost look like they fell asleep at their desk or something. You guys would recognize it. The smell of gunpowder and parts are in there in one side. Everything is quiet so far.
I give the ghost a warning because Bird, listen, don't kill him, just bump him. We don't need the spirit wardens on our asses here, Hendrik.
I think I'll shrug at that, head across, and
Deckard sees you doing that. He reaches into his bandolier, pulls out something, hands it to you, and says, just make sure this ends up in his face, yeah? It's trance powder.
that's fair enough. All right.
What does trance powder do?
It gives a mild euphoric feeling and puts you in a pleasant hypnotic trance. You don't have a lot of...
It's roofies.
Don't want to ask why you have roofies on you, but no. You were dating my sister. Let's
Just a bit of a party boy.
We'll throw the trance powder if he wakes up.
I'll just cross the room as best I can towards him and get as close as I can and chuck the trance powder or whatever in his face.
I'm also prowling because I'm a sneaky phoenix.
You get up there. I think they're like just starting to wake up. They don't even open their eyes. They don't make any noise. You're just like, pocket powder. And
pocket sand.
Yeah, and then they fall. It happens. They're breathing. They stop snoring. They don't like slump like they were. They sat up slightly, and then they sitting up slightly, and then their eyes like slightly open, like they look half asleep, and their breathing is very regular. They're in a trance.
Okay.
This god is probably open to some suggestion at this point.
Take 2 grenades and put one on each of the pillars, and then get a piece of string and tie that to the door to the basement. So when they open the door to the basement, it blows up the pillars.
Yeah,
I suggest this too, because I don't have Tinker, I just have Wreck.
Crit.
Ooh!
Nice. Okay. So I think that the crit is you set this up. It will trigger when someone else goes there, but you can go in and out of the front if you know it's there. Which of course you're the one who you're the people who set it up. You can go in and out of this door if you would ever need to, safely, carefully but safely.
Varys is flying above the bar, so like he'll tell us if anyone's coming in or out.
So I think what your bird sees and immediately alerts you about is you see through Varys a group of like a small gang seems to pull, like a car pulls over, 2 of them pull over in the street on the other side of this. A small gang with swords and with red sashes get out.
Yes!
Rush. They rush the front door, and they are about to, like, they're outside. They are and like you can hear as Grind, you're setting up everything. You hear like talking and like the scraping of chairs. People are getting up. There's there's a back door that isn't the cellar. Like they have like a back door, so people are leaving. The red sashes are attacking / just started attacking. Like they
just started their job.
Yeah, they're starting off by like giving a speech basically, and so that's
Yep.
what's happening. The like local gang leader is doing that,
So
and then they're
this
gonna
is
start
probably
attacking.
when he gets that heads up from Varys, like, yo, there's a carriage.
Yeah,
That's when his eyes turn fiery, and then that's when everyone sees like, oh, that's weird.
yeah. You all
And then he
guys,
says-
because of this and this tense situation upstairs, people might come down at any moment. You're in a risky position.
We have a problem. The red sashes are here.
I want to go talk to the guy that's all zonked out.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically, I just want to get real close to him and whisper in his ear, like, alright, you need to grab the whiskey and jump onto the boat. Grab the whiskey, jump onto the, like, is to cut the middleman out of
Kidnapping this
finding
man.
and moving the whiskey. Attempting to
And yeah, he
convince
just
him-
like grab the whiskey and jump onto the boat. Okay, roll.
Yeah.
And so he like looks around, and he still in his trance like goes over to one of like some of the crates and is like he like picks up some crates and moves them. And under some of the crates is one specific crate with like a note scrawled on it that's like Bozo's whiskey. And he like grabs it, just that one crate, and starts like hauling it out the back door, like out where you came from. The fight starts getting like a bit more intense up above. You hear someone yell upstairs, anyone near the door, like, quick, grab the weapons downstairs. And there's like footsteps running towards the door.
Time to go.
I'll
Dump
be
some
accompanying
barrels.
this guy because he's the
Yeah.
biggest problem right now immediately.
I'm also going with Whiskey Man. I think
Okay.
we let the bombardiers set up the bombs, and then we go.
We have Team Loot and Team Wreck.
Oh, the loot and scoot. I love that plan.
You find some old, I think, like jewelry or something. There's like something hung up on one of the walls. It looks like there's like a dusty portrait there of like two men. It looks like it's 2 decades. It's actually it's one guy and like a kid who looks about Adric's age, and one guy who's like he's in his mid-20s or so. Hung sort of on the portrait, like there's like an extra hook there, is a locket of sorts, and you grab those and you go
Yeah.
with it. But when you grab them, and shortly after you grab them, everyone feels the room go icy, and like everyone's skin starts like crawling. I think you all hear like a voice, the same voice you heard before, a haunted, echoing man's voice. Put that down. And you see this like outline visage of a person standing between you and the exit, Zaid.
I want to instead sway it by pulling out the Spirit Bane charm and saying, I know who killed you. Let me go, and I'll help you find him.
It looks into your eyes, and just the part of its eyes manifest. They are black. They are like pure black ink. And he grabs your wrist and light and like manifests a bit more, and lightning starts coursing from him up your body and up your arm. And then he lets go before, like, just for a second, but it hurts like hell. He basically threatens you, like, you better do this or more of that's going to be coming. And it threatens you, and then
Love
it
on.
dissipates for now.
And I'm out the door.
And then you get out the door. I don't think that's a problem.
Teamwork Wreck action to
Yeah.
destroy the whole building.
All of you get out of there. Everyone's running to the door. You don't even need to like trigger it. You know that they will trigger it. So you all just sprint. The explosion is just like huge. It's loud. It's tall too. Like you guys have made it so it doesn't spread catastrophically, but it's tall and everyone can see like this pluming smoke afterwards and the like dust and like it was a lot of the building was brick, and so there's like brick dust everywhere, and there's this like pile of like gray, most of the bricks are gray, like gray rocks all over. The man is starting to wake up from the trance. The explosion has awakened him a bit, and you see his eyes fluttering, and he's like looking at, he's like in the boat sitting with you quietly, wasn't doing anything.
I am going to try and stab him in the side, I guess.
As you attack them, basically they struggle briefly, and you do it, but they are going to I think inflict level 1 harm just from, they don't have a weapon on them, but they're just like going to start like scratching, like attack you with their fists and try to bruise you, basically.
Stop struggling. The more you are going to struggle, you are going to bleed out and you are going to die.
Okay, so you probably like just like stab them in the leg and leave it
Yeah.
there, and then while they attack you, they're like, no, you don't want to pull that blade out of your leg or things will get much worse than they are now. So they
Yeah.
and the
I
other
think-
end of the blade is stuck in the wooden part of the boat, so they are like nailed there. and they
Aren't they just stuck in our boat?
yeah, they're stuck to your boat now. They're screaming, but
You did.
no one has noticed because of the explosion.
It looks like you're in need of a job, friend.
No, while Batman is trying to get him signed up for our employment contract, I would like to offer him drugs and pull out this knife so we could leave. Spark is basically cocaine, right?
Oh,
I hand him some ostensibly cyberpunk cocaine, and I got the knife out and like push, like let's go.
you just like
Push him off the
push him
boat.
onto the ledge and like let's go with speed away.
You had a real bad day. Go.
You
Go
see
tie
that
one
building
on the
over
pump.
there? You weren't in it. Happy day for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
People
Um,
forget things all the time.
We're
You should
having a
forget
little
this.
snowball fight down the street, and
Okay. He's like nods and just like starts walking away. I'm gonna.
he
set
just
a new
adds to the
clock.
rumor mill around us. So, like, sticking a
Exactly.
clock, someone paying attention, he just adds to that
Yeah.
I think-
ongoing.
And I think that's the end of the score.
First score in under 2 hours of the session.
Yeah.
This is
Nice.
wonderful.
So you get 2 rep. I'd say 6 coin because you did get the whiskey and you're able to sell to both Lamplex and the Crows. You blew up a building to great effect, as big as explosion as you could without it being like. I'd say this is
Like
probably
collateral
6 heat.
damage.
I can't. This
Yeah.
is 6 heat.
All right, I might have to enact my emergency plan early.
So next, let's roll entanglements.
Later, like, after we get back later that night, like, I'm not, like, armed anymore, and I'm just walking, and then we just get, like, it's just a shot of Hex walking down the street, presumably to a bar or
Yeah.
something, and, like, 3 cop cars just, like, pull up real fast, and, like, slide into a parking spot, stop, and just beat me up. Level 2 harm.
Next is downtime.
If we acquire asset stooge and they go and turn themselves in for the crime, heat goes away.
They might as well just say, "Yeah, I'm going to prison for them." Like they're like, "Yeah, I did it for the money." Like this person is not. This person says they're up for it. They're one of the few people who are actually willing to go to this brutal prison. But they are not.
Chunky.
Yeah, they're gonna talk. They're gonna talk.
Real big.
Yeah. So you guys get 2 heat afterwards.
Hey, -4 heat for sending some asshole to jail. You know.
So he's just some dude that's like, oh yeah, they give me food and like a bed in prison. I'll go there. And then he says like, yeah, I was chucked in here.
Giving him, like, a bag of money now.
Once he gets out, he realizes this was a terrible mistake. Like, prison is brutal.
We
Yeah.
find someone, it's not that it sounds fun, we find someone that's desperate, that doesn't know the truth of the matter.
Yeah, they're desperate. They're the combination of desperate and not even that naive, just slightly naive.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just don't know the facts.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad. Okay, cool.
suckers.
I need to get healed because I was soundly beaten by the police.
Do you want to go see my doctor friend? You kind of got beat
Yeah,
up. by
no,
the cops.
I think the scene is more like he's stumbling into the house after really thought I went out
Yeah.
drinking. It's like I stumble. It's like you look like shit. It's like it's just destroyed, like puppy face. Just
All right,
Come with me. Come on, let's go.
that's fair.
yeah,
I just think you got in a bar fight.
You walk me back out of the house.
Yeah,
You go to see your physic, or you go to see what's the-
Melvier,
Yeah, Melvier. Where is she stationed out of?
probably Char Harlow.
If things are really bad, this is the desperate treatment where she will do some weird things to you, and you will probably feel better.
Yeah,
And so she's more of a mystic who uses that mysticism in healing. You pull up your boat. I assume you took the boat because walking was pain right now.
it's painful. Sure, we could take the boat.
Yeah. You take the boat, you pull up
Our
Char
only
Hollow.
means of transport.
Yeah, and you limp a bit over. And yeah, Char Hollow is fairly ragged. You walk up like some creaky steps, have to like skip over some that are just missing, some of these stairs, to a second floor apartment that even from outside, there's a window that is just open a crack, and you see like fumes are pouring from it, like aromatic fumes of incense and things. And from outside, you smell it. You knock on the door as you were expected, Saeed, and then you hear the sort of the sing-song yet also aloof voice say, "Come in," which is normal. And then you open the
Yeah.
door and you
Open
see
the
this
door
person. Yeah, and I think she looks like she's in her I'd say mid-50s is how old she looks. She has like frazzled gray hair tied in a ponytail that still like goes out everywhere. And yeah, she's wearing like a shawl. She probably has like, I don't think they would call it the same thing, but it's something that looks like an iguana basically on her shoulder.
Age it down to 40 because romantic
Oh
interest.
right, you were romantic interest. Sorry, I that was my mistake.
Why? This seems
I mean-
an unnecessary adjustment.
Okay.
That seems like ageism to me.
I want to go for someone 30 years older than me.
That's
I
fair.
mean, you got
Okay.
a thing for the motherly thing. I mean,
Mid-30s, mid-30s, and those herbal treatments have.
Cool.
She has fantastic skin.
Okay.
Still frazzled hair. I'd say it's more of a deep brown then instead of gray.
It's graying. It's starting to
It's
gray.
starting to gray. Yeah,
Probably all the fumes from the.
but yeah,
the
she's
incense.
still like feeding her iguana,
Yeah.
and she.
It's not a
I think
like
she's,
green
like-
iguana. It's like the crusty sea iguana that has, like
Yeah.
It's a Galapagos
gnarly.
iguana.
Yeah, I see you're well, and I think she gives you like the like a nice like a friendly hug, basically.
I have Hicks on like one shoulder, and I give her the like, yeah.
Yes.
like less well.
He's not doing as hot as I am, but
My name is Melvier. I will be treating you today. I hope that I can make things all better. And so she says, "Oh no, this is bad. If this won't work, then you're gonna have to stay here for a few days. It looks like whatever they did. I think some of the bruises are deeper, or there's like slightly like cracked bones or like bruised bones, and it looks worse than it is."
I'm all better. I spend all of my money and I make myself better.
Okay. She does seem genuinely glad that you're better even without this.
and then I would also like to be healed by her.
Okay. So, I'd say.
Does she offer the thing?
Yes. And I think her thing is. Yeah, she does. If you-
I'll take it.
Okay.
I want to know what it does.
I'm going to start a clock. For this. Which is, yeah, you don't have to accept it, but the clock is related. It's not the spirit wardens that become aware of Zaid. It is what's the word? I'm gonna leave it mildly vague.
So I am no longer ghost burned.
While you are out, is Varus with you?
Yeah, he's always flying nearby.
You aren't seeing through his eyes specifically, but I think you almost dream as if you are like flying above the city as a crow.
I'm going to make sure that this healing nonsense doesn't happen too much more often. I'm going to rely on my alchemy and see if I can craft myself vitality potion. Here's the thing. I may need coin to make this, depending on how the roll goes. I'm definitely going to need one.
What does a vitality potion do?
It automatically fills 4 ticks on the clock.
I'm fine.
Is
with
it worth
using-
worth it to pull some coin out of the crew fund for this one?
Since it's for the crew, yeah.
Looking at how easy it was to get hurt and how hard it is to heal, for sure.
Yeah.
Can I pull in Stasia and get some help on making this thing?
Absolutely.
She's an apothecary.
She's happy to offer her help. You know how to make this, but this is probably one of the things she's made 100 times over. She gives you like here's the recipe, but here's the real recipe. Here's how you actually want to make it. Here's the customizations I made to make it better. Devil's Bargain. Grind's involvement with Heartcalm is exposed. 1 tick on it. It's a 6 o'clock.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's start that ball rolling. Why not?
Okay. Then you can at least know where it's at.
2 bonus dice because
Mhm.
she's helping, and I'm okay. And okay, still a total failure. That's
Oh my.
That's a 3.
She thinks that you have all the wrong ingredients. Like, you have the standard ingredients, and she says, no, if you want to do this right, not 60-day dried herbs, but like 360-day dried herbs. Like, this extra rare herbs that you don't have right now. And
right.
she's like, I guess
Yeah,
I could get some for you, but it's this much money, and it's a lot.
Very well. I will attempt again at another day.
As you leave, she says if you need someone who needs treatment, she might be able to help.
We'll keep that in mind. Maybe later. If you read the newspapers, you'll know.
Read the newspapers, you'll know.
As you leave, she has this like worried look in her eyes. Like, what is he talking about? Do I want to know? Hicks did
My
too,
next
but he
one's
paid
easy. If you just want me to go again, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna mark. I'm just gonna train. Resolve.
Okay, so you're putting 2 XP in it?
Hadrick was going to start a clock to be able to find the guy who we let leave, the one who has stabbed his leg. He's not keen on this unfinished
Gotta
business.
hunt down the
We either need
witness.
to recruit him or we need to kill him. But either
Recruit
way,
him or
that's
silence
not
him.
okay.
All right,
Cut
so
his tongue out.
You enter his house, and then you leave his house half an hour later, or some amount of time later, and we never find out what happens, but he doesn't talk.
Okay.
A 6. So he
The dice are with me.
That's
By 5.
3 heat.
No,
Oh,
reduced
right.
by 3.
Yeah, reduced by 3.
But we only had 2, so we're down to 0.
Nice. Loose end tied up. All I'm doing is indulging my vice because I'm at like 6 stress, I think. I patrol the streets of Charlo, making sure no one mess with the scobs or the other downtrodden.
Yeah.
This is fun for him.
So of course, the devil's bargain I have is Wolf Ironborn, who also lives in Char Hollow. Here's about your latest activities.
Something
I'm
I
gonna
did not
take that devil's bargain because I want to see what Ulf brings. I got a 5.
Do we acquire turf as a long-term project, or do we acquire that some other way?
So acquiring turf would either be a score or a long-term project that sets you up for a score. The long-term project that sets you up for a score is for acquiring turf that you would normally not be able to acquire. You do the long-term project first. So, for example, if you look on your crew sheet, the ones that are already right next to your lair, so local graft, turf, and surplus caches, those you know of opportunities to grab. They're right next to you on the map, which means you know where you can still go to do the score to get it. Anything further away, or even harder, not on it at all, you will do a long-term project to unlock a score to get it early.
Secret pathways plus 1D engagement for stealth plans. If we're thinking that's going to be a thing.
That's what it is. I have taken upon the library to map the.
Oh, Smuggler's Gate, Ancient Gate. They have safe passage in the Deathland. Okay.
Yeah, I want to start a long-term project to do some research about. I like that. That's fitting.
Because it is not on the map at all, it will be harder than normal. Let me double check the clocks.
How many ticks?
8. It's 8 ticks.
Yeah, I think it's just a scene of Hicks like after the doctor. He still has like band-aids on his face for cartoonish injury marking, and he's actually like a little bit less disheveled than usually, and it's just him going to the library and like flashing my student ID as I descend into like the city planning section of the university
Nice.
library. Start figuring out like
All
the
right.
best way to get around town.
That sounds like study.
It's exactly what it is.
Perfect. So, let's see what
You
grade
won't
you
study
get.
for your classes, but for this,
You won't study for your classes.
Okay.
For crime, you'll study.
I have a devil's bargain. 1 tick on a clock. It's only a 4 o'clock. Your parents realize you're skipping class. And this
That's the
this would be
worst clock yet.
And this would basically be like you get stopped partway down by one of your old professors who's like, I haven't seen you, are you okay? And even though you lied to them and stuff, they like realize something's up and they like
It's more they remember that I exist, and then they say, "Oh, I haven't." Next
yeah,
time they see my
aren't you
parents
supposed
at
to
a-
be in my class?
Yeah,
that kind
next
of
time
thing.
they see my parents at a social engagement, they'll mention it.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
rippling.
Do your
effect.
parents like do they donate to the school? Like are they
Oh,
at those
totally.
events? Okay.
Like they definitely donate to them.
Okay, nice. So on a long-term project, on a 4, you fill in 2 segments of the 8. You guys have you delivered the things to Bazo. He paid you for it. He and the crows are regularly selling things, but word gets out. Even though you massacred their entire crew there, it wasn't you happened to be there while they were there. And eventually the red sashes put together what happened.
-1 red sashes, +1
Okay.
lamp flags.
Okay, good luck. We'll see you next week. Thank you everyone for watching.
Bye.
That's break screen. I meant goodbye screen. There we go. Cool.